Hello, this is Scott Rogers with Funkhauser Real Estate Group with another edition of the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County Real Estate Market Report. This market report covers all sales activity in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County through the end of September. So we are now looking at 9 months out of 2017, and let's take a look at how the local real estate market has been performing. Looking at September home sales, we'll notice right away that there were only 103 home sales this September. That marks a 20% decline from last September when there were 129 home sales. So certainly slower September sales, and this added on to the year-to-date figures to show a 5% decline in home sales thus far in 2017. So last year we had seen 1,008 home sales up until this point, and this year we're only looking at 956 home sales. Despite slowing home sales, we are actually seeing increases in the year-to-date median sales price. Last year, in the first 9 months of the year, the median sales price was $192,000. This year, we're at $196,000. And so that's a 2% increase in the median sales price of homes that are selling in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County this year. Homes are also selling more quickly, with a 37% decline in median days on market this year as compared to last year in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County. If we flip to a visual representation of this here, you'll see that last year in August and September, we saw very high months of home sales, 158 home sales and 129 home sales. And those were the most home sales we had seen in an August and in a September, perhaps ever. This year, the 118 and 103 home sales seen in August and September are much more right in the middle of the pack as to how we have seen these types of months perform in past years. So not quite as thrilling as last year for sure. And looking forward, it's hard to know where we'll be next month, whether we'll be in that same 97 to 112 range. That would be the hope, but it's also possible we'll see fewer than that as far as October home sales. Here you can see the total number of home sales seen each year since 2011, and there has been a slow and steady increase followed by a big jump between 2012 and 2013, and then slow and steady up until 2015, and then a huge jump between 2015 and 2016. At this point, it seems unlikely that we'll be back at that same 2016 level of over 1,300 home sales, but we're likely still on track to exceed all of the other years that have been seen recently in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County. Looking at rolling 12 months of market data, we'll see that in this lower line here, slow and steady increases in the number of home sales in a year's time, so 1,058, then a year later 1,134 home sales in a year, then a year later 1,276 home sales in a year, and we're right now currently a little bit below that at 1,261 home sales per year. So this has been declining for the last few months, and we'll just have to see how that continues to change over the next few months and into 2018. Median sales price 3 years ago was in the mid 170s, then jumped up to the mid 180s, and now we're up into the mid 190s. So some steady increases in median sales price in this area. All right, let's flip forward a little bit here. Looking ahead this year, it would seem that we are likely to see a net increase in the median sales price of single-family homes. So last year we were at 214,000. This year we may be all the way up to around 224,000. So a good size increase in the median sales price of single-family homes in this area. And the same holds true for duplexes, townhomes, and condos. After 3 years of seeing a median sales price of right around $150,000 or $151,000, it looks like this year we may see an increase up to $159,000 or $160,000. So for these homeowners, a welcome sign of some increasing home values. This graph shows the balance or imbalance between buyers and sellers in the market. So 2 to 3 years ago, let's see, 3 to 5 years ago, there was a significant oversupply, lots of sellers in the market, and not nearly as many buyers in the market. And so that was a buyer's market. Buyers had their choice of homes, and sellers were just hoping a buyer would come along and pick their home. That shifted about a year ago in summer of 2016, where all of a sudden there were more buyers that were in the market at any given time than sellers, and so that's created a seller's market in recent months here, really for the last year. The biggest change here has been this decline in inventory. So we've seen a steady decline in inventory over the past 5 years, which eventually led to the current market imbalance that we are seeing. If we look at contract activity, we'll note that there was another decline. So the last 3 months, we've seen fewer contracts signed in July, August, and September as compared to last July, August, and September. So 119 down to 97, 130 down to 111, and 99 down to 87. And this decline in contract activity is clearly leading into the slower months of sales that we've been seeing as well. Some part of why we are seeing slower contract activity and slower sales is likely a direct result of fewer options for buyers to buy. This graph shows that we've seen a 26% year-over-year decline in the number of homes for sale. So a year ago, 532 choices for buyers. Today, only 396 homes for sale. And looking back 2 years ago, buyers at that point had 636 homes to choose from, so significantly more than we're seeing today. And the significantly fewer options for buyers, again, I believe is the leading cause of the decline in the number of buyers that are actually buying. They're not able to find something that works for them, and they're sitting on the sidelines not able to buy a home. Let's see, City of Harrisonburg has seen a particularly large decline. More of the decline in inventory has happened in the city than in the county. So there's been a 37% decline in the last year in city homes for sale as compared to only a 21% decline in the county. Notably, 2 years ago, there would have been 188 homes for sale in the city for buyers to choose from. Today, only 85. So that's a reduction of more than 100 homes as far as what's available for a buyer to purchase. Home sales by price range, we're seeing relatively steady, slight decline in that under 200,000 price range. Big increase in the number of homes selling in the 200 to 300,000 price range. It's a 15% increase over the past year. And then slower increases in the top two price ranges of 3 to 400,000 and 400,000 and up. Inventory levels, this one gets a little complicated looking at it here, but if we look at these numbers over here on the side, we'll see that 3 of the 4 price ranges have seen declines in inventory levels. The only one that's seen an increase is that 400,000 and up. And the most sizable decline has been in the under $200,000 price range. So that's a 40% year-over-year decline. And you can see that in that blue line here. There are currently 131 homes for sale under 200,000. A year ago that was 217, and 2 years ago it was 311. So some of this is that prices are rising. Some of it is inventory declining, but fewer and fewer options for a buyer that's looking under 200,000 anywhere in the city and county. All right. Finally, we will take a look at mortgage rates. Mortgage rates continue to decline. We're still below 4%, which helps considerably. We've been below 4% for most of the past 3 years, with a few exceptions. And so this is helpful. Buyers are able to lock in long-term interest rates that are helpful to them. Unemployment rate has also been declining, 5.5, 4.4, 4.2, 3.9. So a strong local economy. That's the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County market. Finally, I'll just point out a few websites that could be helpful to you. Up at the top here, Buying a Home in Harrisonburg. It's going to talk about the home buying process. SellingahomeInHarrisonburg.com is going to talk all about things you need to be thinking about as a home seller in this market. And HarrisonburgHousingMarket.com, you can find this full report. And I'll just mention one other one, which is HarrisonburgHousingToday.com, where most days during the week I'm going to be posting some thoughts or analysis on our local real estate market. Again, this is Scott Rogers with Bunkhauser Real Estate Group with an overview of the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County real estate market as through the end of September of 2017. Have a great month.